Very good morning, dear students. Today we are going to continue our same poem, that is Dust of Snow. Here we have seen what the poet wants to say through this poem, what the message he wants to convey to the readers. As we have seen, we should be positive, we should think positively, we should find positive things in even in negative things. Yes, so this way he has given very important message through this poem. After that we are going to see another part of this poem, that is the use of poetic devices. Okay, so here the poetic devices that are used by poet in this poem are, first of all, first one we have already seen, that is rhyme scheme. Yes, A B A B C D C D. We have already done this part in our previous class. Today we are going to see some more poetic devices that are used in this poem. So first of all, look at there what we are going to see. The first one is alliteration. Okay, so you will see in this poem the poet has used this poetic device, the figure of speech alliteration, and in our previous classes we have already learnt what is alliteration. Yes, alliteration, that means the repetition of initial sound. Yes, the repetition of initial sound of a word in two or more words in the same line. Yes, repetition of initial sound. Yes, look at there, what am I saying you? Initial sound, the repetition of initial sound. Okay, that is called alliteration. So look at that example in the first one. Look at the last line, second last, and saved some part, and saved some part. Look at there, the alliteration, and saved some part. Okay, so look at there, sir sound, the initial sound is repeated, so that is alliteration. So alliteration is there also in this poem. Okay, after that the next figure of speech that is used in this poem, next one is enjambment. Enjambment. Okay, enjambment. As I told you, enjambment means when a particular sentence is continued in two or more lines, without using any punctuation mark, that type or that device is called, or that figure of speech is called enjambment. So look at there, the whole poem is in enjambment. Yes, the whole poem is in just a single sentence divided into two stanzas, 8 lines, without using any comma or full stop, means without using any punctuation mark. So the whole poem is in enjambment. Also here you can say that in this poem, enjambment, the figure of speech is prominently used. Okay, so here enjambment, whole poem. Okay, like look at there, the way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So here this whole poem is in enjambment. Okay, understood? So whole poem will be the example of enjambment, and this figure of speech is prominently used in this poem. Got it? Then the next one, third one is assonance. Okay, assonance. What is assonance? Again, We have already dealt with this figure of speech. Assonance means when a consonant, a vowel sound, when a vowel sound is repeated in a line. Yes, vowel sound, though it can be at the beginning, at the middle, or at the end of any word in the same line. Okay, but the repetition of vowel sound, if we find the repetition of vowel sound, it will be called assonance. It will be called assonance. So look at the example of this is what is that? Shook down on me, shook down on me, shook down on me. O sound. Yes, shook down on me. Shook down on me, shook down on me. O sound is repeated here, so O is vowel, and that's why it is assonance. Okay, then next one figure of speech. Let's see, next one figure of speech that is used in this poem, that is inversion. Inversion. Okay, inversion means what? Please understand what is inversion. Inversion means when a correct order or the normal order of a sentence is not followed throughout the line, throughout the sentence, that is called inversion. Yes, means the जंबल वर्ड्स वी कैन से, या फिर वर्ड्स का जो जंबल किया जाता है इधर से उधर, जस्ट टू क्रिएट राइम स्कीम, राइम क्रिएट करने के लिए वर्ड्स को जंबल किया जाता है. यस, द प्रॉपर या फिर कॉमन ऑर्डर ऑफ अ सेंटेंस इज डिसऑर्डर्ड, उसको डिसऑर्डर किया जाता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड इन्वर्शन. सो लुक एट द इन द फर्स्ट स्टांजा, there is inversion. The proper order of a sentence is not followed there. Look the sentence, the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Yes, the correct proper order is not there. Yes, the way a crow shook down the dust of snow from a hemlock tree on me, it could be the proper format, proper order of the sentence, but here just for rhyme, the writer changes the places of word. He disordered the common order of sentence. Yes, just for rhyme. So this is inversion. So here the first stanza follows, or it has the figure of speech inversion. Okay. Now the last one poetic device that is used in this poem, it is imagery. Okay, imagery is also a poetic device. Imagery, as I have told you already in our previous class, what is imagery? In imagery, what a particular picture is created before your eyes, or when you read particular lines of the poem, particular picture comes before your eyes. So same here, when you read the first stanza, the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, so particular picture comes before our eyes कि डस्ट ऑफ स्नो है, एक राइटर या पोएट है जो चल रहा है और उस हेमलॉक ट्री से एक कौवा उसके ऊपर डस्ट ऑफ स्नो गिराता है, सम टाइनी पार्टिकल्स ऑफ स्नो वहाँ गिराता है, यस, शुक करता है. सो दिस पिक्चर क्रिएट्स, और दिस पिक्चर कम्स बिफोर आवर आईज. So this is imagery. So in this way, these are the figures of speech that are used in this poem, Dust of Snow. Got it? How many figures of speech are used there? First one is alliteration, then enjambment, then inversion, assonance, imagery. These are the figures of speech that are used in this poem. Besides, rhyme scheme we have seen A, B, C, D, C, D. Rhyming words or rhyming pairs again we have seen crow, snow, me, tree, then heart, part, mood, rude. Okay, so these are the rhyming words or rhyming pairs. So this is all about this poem Dust of Snow. Okay, and here again we have seen the very important message. We should be positive in our life. We should think positively. We should try to find out positive even in negative aspects, even in negative things. We have to find out positive things, positive way. And to prove it, here the poet has used two bad omens or nature's object which are generally used in a negative way by the poets in their works. And what are these? Crow and hemlock tree. Both are said or both are understood as bad omens. But here the poet has used them in a positive way, because of which the mood of the poet, the sad mood of the poet was instantly changed, and the day he was vesting, was saved, means the remaining part or the rest part of the day was saved due to the falling of the snow. And as we have seen, the snow fell from hemlock tree, a poisonous tree. Due to whom? Because of the crow. Okay, so this way here the poet's very important message is we should be positive. Besides, even a small thing has a larger significance. As here tiny particles of snow has larger significance, which has changed the mood of poets, and his remaining day was saved. So here even a small thing or this small tiny particles have larger significance. So this way, these are the messages here the poet wants to convey to the reader. So I hope you must have understood this poem very well. Besides, or moreover, if you have any query, you are free to make me call. Okay, my number is already there with you. So dear guys, see you soon in our next video lecture with our next one poem, that is Fire and Ice. This is also written by Robert Frost, the same poet. Okay, so see you guys. Bye bye.